Hey people, so yeah, this is my fifth video. I haven't gone to bed yet. It's like 2 something in the morning. I just got my secretary review up literally just seconds ago, and as I was doing it, I was thinking about something I said in that I know that people are going to ask me about. And I don't, again, it's another thing I don't think I've done a video on. So it's the concept of implied consent. Um, the thing about implied consent is it's not consent. Let's make that very clear. You basically how implied consent works is that even if I do something with somebody, I've talked to them long before and had multiple discussions about what I can and cannot do with somebody. And I know that these are my limits. And so I can just go ahead and within the confines of that parameters do whatever I want. So I can just say, you know, if I'm playing, if I'm with one of my girls and I want to just play, I don't have to sit there and go, "Are you okay with me doing this?" No, because we've already had those discussions. What I can do is just play. Grab her by the hair, bend her over, give her a good spank on the ass several times. The thing about it is, that situation we've talked about, we've had discussions about, we've we've sat and had multiple times where I've asked her, would it be okay if I do this? Would it be okay if I do that? Would it be okay if I do this? Would it be okay if I do that? One of the biggest examples I can give is one of the things that I enjoy doing is if I'm sleeping with a girl, I have a girl over, or I'm over at her house, and it's 3 in the morning, and I wake up horny. I don't want to have to wake her up to start fucking her. The thing about it is that without the implied consent, that is me breaking the law. Very plain and simple. Okay? Same thing when I'm doing stuff under hypnosis. If I do something, get them naked and have sex with them while they're under hypnosis, and we have not talked about whether that is okay or not, because they are not fully conscious, that again is breaking the law. So that's where you have to be careful with it. You have to make sure that you've had these discussions and understand that safe words, when it comes to certain kinds of things, like, I mean, if I'm starting to fuck them in the middle of the night while they're asleep, there's nothing that can be done. They're going to get up, wake up because of what I'm doing, and then they can either safe word out or they can just enjoy what I'm doing, whichever they choose to do. Same thing kind of is not true with hypnosis, because they're in an altered state of being. uh, Same thing as if they were high or drunk. They're in an altered state of being. If they have said that they are okay with being played with while under those circumstances, and you decide to go ahead and do that, you have consent. And because you have discussed it beforehand, it's considered implied consent. I cannot just walk up to somebody and grab them by the hair and think, "Oh, you gave me implied consent. That's, so therefore I'm not breaking any rules." No. If it's somebody I have not had that discussion with, then I am breaking consent. Point blank. I am breaking the rules. So that's where you have to be careful with it. You have to know when and when you cannot use it. Simple rule is talk to them. If they are cool with it and you decide to do it days, months, weeks, years later, if you've had those discussions and they said that they were okay with it and you decide to do it, go ahead. But also be aware that if they use a safe word on you, you have to respect it. Period. There is no wiggle room there. If they use a safe word and they want out, done. Okay? Unless you're obviously in a TPS kind of total power exchange, no safe words type of relationship, which I don't recommend. Um, yeah, I mean that's potential, but the reality is that as long as you are playing within the guidelines that you two have established, and you get make sure that they are okay with it when you had originally discussed it, and there's been no change in those ideas about how she or he would be okay with certain things as you move forward, there's no issue, none at all. Okay, like I said, make sure you have the discussion, make sure that safe words are in play, and go for it. So that's kind of it for now. Be well and safe.